on the block, and I'm here with
Zaya.
Zaya from
Ease the Crave. That's the name of my Instagram. Ease the Crave. The channel that we're on right now is called The Daily Struggle.
That's what it is. Where are you from, my man?
I'm originally from New York, but I live in Florida now.
Okay, what part of New York?
Queens.
That's what's up, man. I'm from Staten Island. Okay. I lived in
Staten Island all the time. I lived in
Get out of here. There's no reason to go. That's why. We did a lot of stuff.
Been down here mostly, like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
I've been
man.
on my tourist tour. I didn't go back to where like I'm from. No. I stayed like places where I've never been before.
That's dope, man. What part of Florida? I lived in Orlando. I went to Edgewater High School.
There you go.
I graduated from Edgewater. Yep. Clear Glasses Mafia. Just saying.
I got these free, man. They gave it to me. Where was it? I came right out the train, and they had like a little festival going on. They was giving out free glasses and everything.
Wow, that's great, man. It looked like you bought them for yourself, man. Do you think that it's appropriate for you to discipline your child any way possible, any way you feel fit, including physical?
Yes, to a certain degree. You can't be abusing. It's got to be for the purpose of, getting your child on the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of kids, I've realized, at least me, like I've got stepchildren, and I've never had to like physically do anything. I feel like a man can just express himself through just his voice and his presence. A female might have a little bit of more of a difficultiness, and it also depends on like child too. I feel like women probably got it harder with boys versus men probably got it harder with little girls. But yeah, I feel like as a parent, whatever you need to discipline your child, yes, they're your child.
How do you
they're your
feel
responsibility.
you should? How do you get a child to respect you?
Consistency. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, this is something that, as a female, and of course these are only my perspective, it only represents me, but I feel like females tend to kind of give in a little bit more, and it's, oh, I love them, or something like that, or you feel bad. You're doing it in a feel bad type of way, but you should never raise your children on like a feel bad type of way. You feel me? Because to me, like, nobody's gonna care about your children more than you will. Once they go out into the world, that's it. They're subject to anything that can happen out into the world. So, at least with me, I think it's consistency. If it's a yes, it's a yes. But when it's a no, it's a no.
And that's stay a no, kind of.
It's got to stay a no. We've got to establish that when I do say no, you're respecting that it's a no, and that's it. It's a conversation over. Now, if you continue, like, how kids be like, I do it with my stepchildren. They be like, well, come on, please, but please. And I say, you're just gonna prolong this. Let's learn the lesson. Let's Let's get past it. And then we free and clear. But if you keep postponing it, you make me want to hold out more because I've got to get that respect from you. You know what I'm saying? But once you establish it, like, it's a beautiful thing.
That's dope. As a step parent, I've been asking people this question. Should the spouse be called mom or dad by the children?
So you saying like
the
me
step spouse
in a step situation, should the children be calling me dad? I'd say no.
Why would you say that? That's
got a pretty unusual situation, right? I'm in a situation where they lost their pops. You know what I'm saying? So that would be a perfect position for me to say, well, I'm your father. You know what I mean? I'm the one that's raising you. I'm the one that's putting in that work. But for me, no. There should always be the respect for who his father is. You understand? Whether good or bad, that's your decision to say, you know what? I don't F with my father, or I do F with my father. Regardless, that's your choice. But that's not me to make that decision for you and say, no, I'm your father. Nah, you got a father. I'm your stepfather. I love you. I would think as much as your father do, but just, you lucky, you got two. You know what I mean? In a way, you got a representation of your father, and then you got a representation of a stepfather, someone that's just stepping in. You know what I mean? When that father obviously is not there.
Okay, what age do you think is appropriate for your child to start having sex?
This is unrealistic, but for me, it should be if you living at home and you require for me to support you, then you shouldn't be having no sex, right? Especially unprotected. Now, if it ends up happening and it's protected, then I might be a little more lenient. But if it's unprotected, then no, because you're not adding to this situation right here. Up until 18, it's my responsibility to try to make you the best person that you can, so that I could just cut you loose. At 18, I could cut you, and that's it. You could survive in the world based off what you've learned from me. You feel me? So to me, if you up in my house and you're not bringing nothing to the table, you still require for me to feed you and clothe you and do that, then there should be at least a respect of 18. You know what I'm saying? At that age is when I decide if you got to get your stuff up and you got to leave. I hope you don't. I hope you can stay with me. Like, I wouldn't even mind like my children staying with me. Like, add to the equation. You know what I'm saying? Let's add to this plate instead of just y'all taking from the plate. You feel me? So I would say at least 18, but we know that don't be happening.
All right. Now that weed is legal in New York City, do you think that it's appropriate to smoke weed in front of the kids, like cigarettes?
No. No, not cigarettes, not weed, none of that. No. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should hide it, right? Obviously, you should have these discussions with your children because it's happening everywhere. So you definitely want to be open and having them discussions. But as far as when it's like smoke time, I think that should be respected. Like, you know, if your child is with you, like if you know you're about to smoke, then they already know, oh man, you're about to smoke, I'm about to go in the other room, and call me when you're done, or something to that effect, you know what I mean?
One last question. That's dope. That's responsible. Child support. Do you think there should be a cap on child support, or do you think the system should be reworked?
I think the system should be reworked, and I'm probably super biased on this. I myself have child support, okay? So I think the system should be reworked.
Any suggestions?
Shut it down, bruh. Completely. Shut it down. I think, salute to all the ladies out there. I love y'all. We all love y'all. But it's time to be a little more responsible with ourselves, you know what I'm saying? And not just creating children just to create them. How about creating wealth? Creating something that, you know, when you finally do have a child, you can pass it along to that child instead of making every generation work hard after another, after another, after another. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, like, you can't do that because there's a lot of people that are irresponsible. But the system definitely needs to be reworked so that it's much more fair, right? The expenses of a child. Perfect example. Just because you got my child doesn't mean that I got to pay half your rent. Like, you are a grown woman, you would have had to get somewhere to live anyway, baby girl. But if your rent is $500 and you got to get the extra bedroom and it push it to $700, then that means me and you split the $200 extra that you got to put on the child. We split that. And the split can't just be, oh, they with you. Well, they just with me, so just you provide the money. No. They could be with me too. They could be with both of us. Let's split it down the middle. It needs to be something that is more worked where it's split down the middle. At least in my opinion.
That's dope, man. I appreciate you, man. Your opinion's never wrong, man. Definitely, man. I appreciate you again, man. What's your name again for listeners?
My name is Zelle, and I'm on YouTube right now. The YouTube channel is called The Daily Struggle.
That's what it is. Zay and the Daily Struggle.
I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you will always get an alert when a new video drops.